Oh, yeah. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with little boy Jason Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
The
Little
time
boy
has
Jason
come,
again. It
my
has.
friends. The time has come. We are finally, after 5 years, going to
Yeah.
review quite possibly the most recognizable and popular horror franchise ever. And it took us 5 years to get here, but we are here and we're going to start a review series of the Friday the 13th
Yes.
franchise. Katrina has opted out, at least for the first few. Um, so it's just me and Joel today, going old school.
Yep.
And so hopefully you enjoy it. Joel, can you tell us who is a part of it? The
All
first one.
right. So this one stars Betsy Palmer as Pamela. We got Adrienne King as Alice.
Mm,
And Janine Taylor as Marcy. I literally just went down on
yeah,
IMDb.
yeah.
This was written by Victor Miller and directed by Sean S. Cunningham, who is the one
Yes.
responsible for the fact that we haven't had a Friday the 13th movie in 14 years.
Yes. Yes. Sean S. Cunningham, what a guy.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a synopsis. And this synopsis is a synopsis that you could take through most of the franchise. I will say there are a few exceptions, but we can. Yeah. A group of teenage camp counselors attempt to reopen an abandoned summer camp with a tragic past. But they are stalked by a mysterious, relentless killer.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess in this one it's a mysterious killer. So
Yeah.
that's the difference with
Yeah.
this one.
This one does have a twist.
It
But the
has a
other ones do
twist,
not.
so we'll try to. Well, it has a reveal, we'll say,
Yeah.
and we'll try to stay away from that, just in case you haven't seen it. We're gonna stay
Or
away from
haven't heard of
spoilers.
any pop culture
Yeah,
references ever.
I
If
haven't
you've
seen
ever
Scream.
never seen Scream, yeah, I was about to say.
So we're gonna stay away from spoilers, which that is a big spoiler. So,
Yeah, the only
and
spoiler.
yeah, so you might this might be a shorter episode. There isn't too much to discuss with these films. And if you want to hear about spoiler talk, then go to patreon.com/scare talk and you will get to watch us talk about spoilers for the entire franchise and for all of the last year's worth of episodes. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can grow and get our content out there to more and more people. That'd be great. Okay. So we've got Camp Crystal Lake. We've got the counselors, and they're coming. And they're going to try to reopen this place because there is a past. It's been abandoned. Isn't Kevin Bacon in this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Is this his first movie?
I think it was his first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may or may not be killed in this movie.
Who knows? Who's to say?
It's funny that he wasn't one of the top 3 cast members.
Well, yeah, didn't he was he was down there on the list. I'm pretty sure. I mean, this was his first movie, so it's he probably wasn't billed for much.
Yeah,
It was like
very much.
Jason Alexander in The Burning was just like he was just there, kind of thing.
He's just like a super recognizable person.
Yeah,
just,
now,
yeah. I didn't really recognize him in this when I was watching it. It took me a minute because I was like, oh wait, he's supposed to be in this movie. Which one is he?
Yeah. Well, this movie came out like a couple years before Footloose did, which was like his breakout role.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't, I recognized him mostly from that era. Like that was like 1985. Yeah. This was like 1980. But he didn't really look a whole lot different than he did then that he did now. So
once you look for him, you're like, okay,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
him.
It did take me a minute to find him because he was in that scene in the car. I didn't recognize him in there, but it was after when they got out of the cars when I recognized his face. So
yeah.
but he is in this.
So something I struggle with these movies, I find them to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ones that I've seen. I actually haven't seen a few of them, so this will be fun to get to those, the later ones. But something I struggle with them is they all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
So I watched the first 3 in the last couple of days, and I'm trying to like figure out in my mind, like, okay, what was part of 1, what was part of 2, what was part of 3, because they're so similar with the group of young people, the camp, and the kills.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a difference in 2 and 3 that, one has, but all the other scenes are very, you could just mix and match.
Yeah. There's even some kills in 3 that are kills in this one. So it's like there's not even any much creativity with with the first 3 movies as far as kills go.
Yeah.
One of them is a pretty like unique kill that they did in this one, which is which was the knife through the neck underneath. They did that in the third one too.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well that's literally that's just copying your the first one.
Yeah.
But
this is one of, it's not the first, but it's one of the earlier versions of the POV killer. So like all the kills pretty much are the point of view of the killer.
Yeah.
So that's where the like who done it kind of mystery comes into play, because it never actually shows who's killing.
Yeah.
There is a reference to a history, but we don't really learn what the exact history is until toward the end of the movie.
Well, yeah. So I mean, there's 2 history lessons that we learn in this movie because when a movie starts, it starts in 1958, so it follows that.
True.
And then we go into the present, which is where they say that in 1957 something happened, which led to, and then something happened in 1958, and then they closed down for 20 years before they reopened it. Which I'll go into that in another episode, because it's just funny that they shut down for 20 years, over 3 deaths, but then they shut down for 5 over like 10. All right.
Oh man, this is one of my favorite shirts. It's getting kind of old now, but it's my Camp Crystal Lake counselor shirt. It says counselor on the back.
You're part of the problem.
Yep. Yeah, I was a little bit confused at first when I was like the beginning. I was like, okay, when does that come? Like, what time period is that? Is that now? Like, because it just starts and
no,
then
it says 1958.
Oh, does it say the date?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I missed that.
Yeah. I was confused for a different reason because I was like, wait, isn't that the year that I don't know. I don't know what is a spoiler and what isn't in this, because I don't know. This movie's been out for 50, 60 years. So it's like 40 years, whatever. It's close enough to 50. So it's like, do people know something about? And then like I don't know. So I'm just not gonna say anything until spoilers. But this is a movie in a franchise that even the fans of the franchise will skip this one.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's fine for a one-time view, but after that it's like, all right.
It's really interesting that this movie spawned a franchise that is nothing like I mean, it's very much like this movie, but
Yeah.
there's something else that's added in the next
Yeah.
movie that
Mhm.
really takes off the franchise, but it
Yeah.
started here.
hmm
So it's
On
really
a movie
weird
that
in that way.
not even fans like.
Yeah, it's like if you look at people's top, their ranking, this is like in the middle
Yeah.
of their most people's ranking, which is not common for a franchise. It's usually the original is like, one of the top
Number
ones.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least
So,
top
yeah.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
This one's literally like in the middle, like right before it starts getting really bad.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the franchise anyway. So I will say that they have been getting better. I watched the first 3 as well. Yeah. Barely, but they have been getting better. And then like number 4 is supposed to be like the best one for all of them. And it's like, okay, well, we've got another 8 movies to go before we're done with this franchise. So number 4 is like the peak of a franchise I don't even really like that much.
Oh man, you're in for a treat, Joel.
I can't wait for number 4. I don't know if I've even seen that one, so
okay.
I wonder.
That's the final chapter.
Yeah, right. And then they make
not even halfway through.
Yeah. Well, I guess 7 more because I think one of them is Freddy vs. Jason, so I'm not going to count that as a Jason movie.
Yeah.
I don't count that as a Freddy movie either. It's just a fun movie. So yeah, I do like Alice. I think she's a good final girl. And
are there machetes in this movie?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think we get a machete until the next one. At least the next one.
Yeah. Pretty sure in the next one we do. This was basically the studio went to the creators and was like, make Halloween. Like they said, like this is like literally documented. They wanted to rip off Halloween.
Wow.
And that's like they're like, that's the thing right now. People are loving it. Let's just do that and try to make some money. It's different from Halloween because it's, you don't know who the killer is. It's not a masked white-faced guy stalking his babysitters and stuff. I mean, it's camp counselors, so it's kind of similar in that way.
Yeah.
They're it's a different setting and everything. Yeah. So it's different enough, but yeah.
Man, that's weird. That's didn't that movie come out in like 79, the first Halloween movie? Or was it 78? Oh, okay. Yeah. But like Halloween of 78, like that's like at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then within like 1 year they like made this movie because it came out in 1980. So
I'm sure in the summer, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's really stormy for the summer.
Yeah.
This one and the second one.
Yeah.
There's like some big rains. And
where is this supposed to take place? Does it even say? Like, I know at one point one of the characters says she needs to go. Is going to go back to California. So we're not in California. So, but it's like, I feel like we're close enough to California that she can drive to or take a bus. Yeah, because he's was it this one or was it? See, I get them confused too sometimes. I'm like, is it this one or is it the second one that they're like, just stay for a week and if you don't like it, I'll put you on a bus myself. So it's a bus to California, so they're not too far away. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Some crazy weather where we're at for the summer.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of interesting. So something I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember now. Anyways, this, is the start of a huge franchise, and it's just so interesting how this is the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Like looking back on it, you know. I
Yeah.
wonder if when these were coming out, if it made sense to the audience. Like, oh yeah, Friday the 13th, like where it went, like
Mm-hmm.
second, third, fourth movie. Was it like, whoa, this is different? Like, I don't want this. I wanted what the first one gave me.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like the mysterious part of it,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no
I mean,
mystery in the other ones.
yeah, true. I was gonna say there's a little bit of the POV shot in
Mhm.
the second one,
Yeah,
but I mean we don't get the Jason that we know until the third movie.
third
So
one.
even the second one's just still like okay, like,
Yeah,
but we don't get the iconic look
yeah.
of Jason until the third movie, which is crazy.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's what this.
And then the fourth was supposed to be the final chapter. If they had stopped with that, would this have
Yeah,
been the franchise that it is today? Like, I know the fourth was supposed to be the best one,
yeah,
but we didn't even get the iconic Jason until the third one.
yeah. And
So
I
it's
was
like,
like
would
halfway through, or like more than halfway
yeah, we
through,
didn't,
in the
yeah,
fourth one.
yeah, yeah. So it's like,
So
would he
yeah, I
have
don't know.
been? That's weird. That's crazy to me. I
It's
don't
weird to look back on it
know.
as like
Yeah.
a 2024 audience
Mm-hmm.
and think of like how big Jason got. And
Yeah.
this is how it started. And he wasn't even really the Jason that everybody knows until
The end
a
of the
couple
third movie.
movies down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. What do you the score. So that's something that is this is very that's like a very Hitchcock score and
Yeah.
very just with kind of like the violin work and
Mm-hmm.
stuff
Yeah, I
and
can see that.
Jaws. Like it's like they took those movies and were like, let's just try to kind of do those things. There's a lot
Let's
of like
copy Hitchcock and John Williams
yeah,
and come up with our own.
there's a lot of like that heavy violin where like boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, and crazy horns and
I
high
wonder
pitched violin and
because I think I looked it up and I think the like composer was a pretty like famous composer
oh, okay.
for it. The name sounded familiar from what I can remember. I'm curious about that actually
Yeah,
now because yeah, it did it definitely in parts had a John Williams esque sound to it.
yeah.
Um, and Harry Manfredini, I got that name does sound familiar.
Hmm.
Um, first
Yeah,
one
it's
that comes up
just
is Friday the 13th. Okay, maybe not. I don't know.
it's just kind of crazy.
He's composed 224 things.
Oh wow.
I'm not gonna look through all of that, but
The score really stood out to me. I
yeah.
wasn't expecting the like crazy score that it has,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in it a lot. Like a lot
It
of the
is.
kills, the like build up and atmosphere in them. I don't know that it's like they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's like Halloween style score for a horror movie,
It's
but
there are parts that are just as recognizable, like like
oh
the
yes,
like
that
that part
stuff.
of it is very it feels like Halloween in the sense that you
Yeah,
know where it's coming from.
that's
But
true. That part for sure.
yeah, the score itself, um I'm not seeing anything here so far. There's a lot of like Friday the 13th like short film kind of things that they give these people credit for
Oh
because
yeah,
they were like the composer, they created the characters or whatever
yeah,
that they don't actually that they weren't actually a part of.
right, yeah. But
But
yeah, the score is just kind of crazy, and I just wasn't expecting it to
yeah.
sound like it did. So I don't know if I like the score or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I appreciate it. I guess at least it has something. I do like the like
Yeah.
I do like that, that's pretty classic.
We got that right away. That was the
Yeah.
first scene that we got that in. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Right away. Yeah. All right. So there is the reveal at the end, which we will get to in spoilers. And for now, let's talk about the Rotten Tomatoes score for Friday the 13th.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right, I gotta find it.
I've not seen anything.
Friday the 13th, 1980 is fresh.
Yeah.
67%.
I figure a good majority of these, especially in the beginning, the first half of them, are going to be probably fresh.
Yeah.
After 4, I think it's going to start going downhill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so 67 for the tomato meter. And then the audience gives it a 60%. Just a fresh score.
Yeah.
Right at the edge.
Just, yeah.
And then for IMDb, we got a 6.4 out of 10 for that one. And it actually says it's B horror as the genre. Which it definitely is.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to see that for Friday the 13th. You know, it's just such a big name.
Yeah.
And it's B horror.
it feels very low budget.
Yeah.
Like if it's weird how that happens, because it's like there's so many low budget movies that are made every year that like sometimes they're low budget, but they somehow will slip between the cracks of being low budget and become these like masterpieces. It's like, okay, this, like, the acting wasn't great, the story was average, boring, whatever. It's just it's fine for this movie. It's going to start getting boring as the movies go on because it's the same thing every time. I looked it up. I was like, how often are we in Camp Crystal Lake? I asked that. I like Googled that because the person there was a character in this movie that got everybody together, like the one that got it all set up and like hired on everybody, hired people to like work on the camp, and he dies in this movie. Like, how are you coming? How is this? Who's hiring these people to come
Why
back?
do people keep coming back to this place?
I was thinking about that last night because I was like, they do this 10 times out of 12 movies. They come back to Camp Crystal Lake. There's only, I think, Manhattan and space that they go to in besides Crystal Lake. And I was thinking,
I don't know that they know in a couple of them that they're in Crystal Lake, like the camp. I don't know if they know
the
that.
townspeople call it like Camp Blood or something.
Yeah, Camp
like
Blood.
That. Yeah. So I mean,
but people from outside the town, like going to vacation or whatever, going to like a summer cabin on the lake. I don't know that they know, because in some of them it's not a camp.
Yeah,
it's not like counselors and stuff. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of weird.
I was thinking while watching this movie, I was like, that would be kind of cool if you were to redo this franchise, like reboot it, whatever. The fans wouldn't be happy about that, but but if like the first movie is the same, where there's a spoiler at the end of this movie, whatever, something's different that isn't like that going forward. But going forward, you actually have Jason's dad, who we don't know anything about. I don't think we ever find out anything about his dad in any of the movies.
His dad.
His dad is the one that gets the camp counselors to Camp Crystal Lake for Jason to kill.
Okay.
And so it adds a layer of like there's another villain in this franchise.
Yeah.
And it's
almost kind of like a Texas Chainsaw
where it's the family is also
it would just be the dad, but the family that lures people in. Leather.
I guess that has already been done with that one. But it's not a whole family; it's just the dad. But like we still don't know much about him until like movies later, and then we meet the dad, and I don't know. It's a way of keeping it like not the same every single time,
right?
but they didn't go that route, so that's fine.
All right, let's give our score, and then we will get to spoilers.
This is going to be a tough one to do.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like all these movies are going to be hard to like actually grade. I don't know. Like I said before, not even the fans like this movie, so it's like, but this one, I'm gonna give it a 64.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I will go with a 70.
Okay.
I'll go with a straight 70.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be my favorite of the franchise, but it's fine for what it is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the franchise, I don't know that this movie would be remembered at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that anybody would watch this movie these days. I think Friday the 13th was a thing, like, the bad luck of that day.
Yeah.
Was a thing before this movie.
It's always been it's always been like bad luck. I don't know where that started, if it didn't start with this, but
I think it's like an ancient, I can't remember. I looked it up before, but I wonder if after this, it became more of a thing. In pop culture.
Especially in pop culture, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we can have this movie to thank for that as well.
Yeah. We just had it Friday the 13th in December, so
we did. All right. Well, that is the spoiler-free review for Friday the 13th. Strap in, get your hockey mask, get your machete, because we're going to be going through all of these films.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a blast. All right. And then we'll eventually rank them, of course. Do you want to do the I kind of want to do the
Final
Never Hike Alone.
Oh, never. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I kind of want to do those.
Yeah, we can add those to it.
Because I feel like those are better than a few of these.
And those are fan films. Like those didn't make money.
Yeah, which is
I was thinking that you were wanting to do like ranking the final girls, because there's a lot throughout this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. I don't know that they're very different, but maybe they have some differences. I'm already like who's who in three of them.
I know Alice. So. Alice is a pretty
a
pretty like big one as far as the franchise goes.
Yeah.
But I literally right now, because we're only 3 movies in, I only know Alice and Ginny. I don't even know who the third one was for.
Well, we'll get there. We'll talk about it.
I don't remember what her name was. Yeah. But Never Hike Alone would be fun.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. So we'll add those to our ranking and our reviews.
So we got 14 movies on this.
Yes.
Well, 13. Well, I don't think we're going to do Freddy vs. Jason again, because we've already done that one. So
all right. Head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/scaretalk, and you will get to hear all the spoilers and the big reveal. I know that you want to know what that is. So join us over there.
Don't already know who that is.
You don't know
what that is.
All right. That's it for this one. See you next time.